So here's the good news of using AI within a SEO agency. I want to show you real quick. Here's a pearl selling client we had. You can see we more than doubled their traffic almost overnight using AI SEO methods. Now, here's the bad news. Take a look at this example of ChatGPT hallucinating and then immediately forgetting. As long as you have a human editor, and it could be you, to fact check and add uniqueness, AI makes SEO easier, faster, and delivers better results. AI has fundamentally changed SEO, and if you aren't using it, you're going to be left behind. My name is Caleb Elku. I started an SEO agency in 2016, and in 3 years, built it to 7 figures. Recently, we transitioned to a full AI SEO agency. Of course, the reason for that transition is the massive benefits that AI gives to SEO. So today in this video, what I'm going to do is break down the top 7 SEO services we currently sell to clients. I'm going to tell you what they are, how we use AI to deliver them, how we price it, and I'm even going to let you know what my cost structure is, so I'm going to give away my margin information. I have a future video that I'm working on where I'm going to break down exactly how we fulfill each one of those 7 services, but I'm not going to cover fulfillment too much today. That being said, I am going to give you a lot of excellent prompts to use with ChatGPT for these 7 services. So you might want to get a piece of paper and a pencil so that you can write some of these prompts down or type them into Notepad or something. We spent a lot of effort engineering these prompts to deliver these services quickly and easily. Okay, so the first product, keyword research and strategy. Now, before ChatGPT, we used to take 5 hours. I used to budget 5 hours to do keyword research, and I'd ask $197 for keyword research from clients. Now, this was very thorough. We checked a lot of sources for local information, for local neighborhoods, local businesses. And the reason for that is when a local business website mentions all of these hyper-local things, these very specific neighborhoods, events, seasonal trends, and whatever local nuances in language, right? If you're in Boston, use the word wicked a lot.
Embarrassingly enough, a lot of people did say wicked.
When you do that as a local business website, Google trusts that website a lot more. Google does not like people who launch lead generation websites, and a lot of people who do that get a little lazy with hyperlocal keyword research. So Google combats them by favoring websites that have it. So now we can do hyperlocal keyword research with a single prompt, okay? So here's that prompt. You are a local search engine optimization expert. Give me some keyword ideas for a local plumber in Houston, Texas. Include keywords that target specific neighborhoods in this city, and keywords for a variety of services a local plumber would want customers for. Keep in mind seasonal trends and local language nuances. Mention local events or landmarks in these keywords. Right? That prompt will give you incredible results for plumber Houston. Here's just one example of what ChatGPT will give you with that prompt. Hours of research with just one prompt. So if instead your client is trying to rank on a national basis, doing national keyword research, we can still use ChatGPT to take away a lot of that legwork, a slightly different prompt, and I'm going to give that to you. Here it is. You are a search engine optimization expert with a focus on the graphic design industry. Please provide keyword ideas that span the full spectrum of graphic design services, from logo and branding to digital illustrations, design, motion graphics, and print materials. Consider including keywords related to popular design software, emerging design trends, and techniques that appeal to both beginners and professionals in this field. Also, explore niche areas within graphic design, such as eco-friendly design practices, accessibility in design, or the integration of AI in the design process. Reflect on how the demand for different design services might vary nationally and globally, and incorporate terms that cater to both DIY designers looking for tutorials and to businesses seeking professional design services. Account for the language and search habits of a diverse audience, including industry-specific terms, as well as more general language that potential clients outside the industry might use to find design services. Okay, and I know that's a long one. Obviously, change it for your specific field, for the specific area you're doing keyword research in. But for graphic design, here's an example of the ChatGPT output. And you can see that that prompt alone accounts for close to 90% of the analysis in keyword research. If we ask ChatGPT a few more questions, if we have particular interest in any of these larger topics, then we can get even more keyword research done. This used to take hours, but now we can do it in minutes. So the next step in keyword research is to analyze it and decide, based on the competitiveness of each of the keywords, which ones we want to actually go and target. So I'm going to use the third-party tool Ahrefs, but you can use any keyword analysis tool that you want. Basically, what we're going to do is take this list of keywords, and I'm going to upload it to Ahrefs to get Ahrefs to give me competitiveness, search volume, and then I'm going to export the Ahrefs results into a CSV. And once I get that CSV, I'm going to give it back to ChatGPT. Now it's the same list of keywords, but it has volume and difficulty. So the first thing we're going to do is get ChatGPT to put the keywords it just generated into a CSV file. So the prompt for that, pretty simple. Can you please create a CSV file with the keywords you just provided? Now that CSV file, like I mentioned, it's going to allow you to upload it to a third-party keyword research tool and get the difficulty and volume estimates that you need. Then you'll export, you'll get a second CSV file that has all the data you need, and you'll give that back to ChatGPT along with this prompt. Here's an estimate of the volume and search difficulty of those keywords you gave me in a CSV file. Based on your experience as an SEO focused on the graphic design space, which keywords should we target first? Okay, and here's an example of the output in that graphic design space that ChatGPT is going to give you. And there you have it. Now you have your keyword research done, you have your topic prioritization done, and we did that in just a couple of minutes. If we want to dive in a little bit more and get more topics to improve the topical relevance, especially for something as competitive as graphic design, you can very quickly generate hundreds of article ideas in just a few minutes to target these keywords. That volume of articles, I mean, that's exactly why you need a human editor to produce all that content in a quality way. All right, so I talked about AI for keyword research and how quickly and easy it is to generate lots of content ideas. Now, the next product, number 2, content creation. Okay, this of course is a big one. I mentioned we used to need to hire so many content writers to do SEO. Managing a team of content writers is always like herding cats. Now we don't need content writers. Sorry if you're a content writer. Now we need editors to operate and edit the AI. The goal of the editor is to, 1, make sure that content is factually correct. Okay? AI is going to hallucinate. And 2, we want to edit it to add uniqueness. AI cannot add uniqueness. And our third goal is to remove some of these AI terms that ChatGPT writes with that most actual human beings don't use. Like if you see the word unleash or vanquish, then it was probably written by ChatGPT, so a good human editor is going to get rid of those because that's not really how people write on the internet. So to get ChatGPT to write a solid SEO-optimized article for a keyword, what we're going to do first is type that keyword into Google. Now, the top 3 to 5 competitor headlines, what you'll see in the search engine results page, just grab those headlines, copy them, paste them somewhere, Notepad, something like that. Then go to the people also ask section. If there isn't a people also ask section, most likely it's because you're doing a local search with the city name. So remove the city name, do the search again, and you should see it. Otherwise, if you don't have a city name, try slight variations of that keyword. Google has been messing with which keywords actually get a people also ask section. But once you get the PAA, the people also ask section, you want to click to open questions, click to close, click to open, click to close. I know that sounds silly, but as you open and close those questions, the list of questions gets longer and longer and longer. Then close all the questions, copy the whole list of questions, and again, put that in a notepad. And here's the prompt you're going to give ChatGPT to write those blog posts. Target keyword. Obviously, insert your target keyword. Competitor headlines. Insert your competitor headlines that you just copied. The reason we're doing this with the competitor headlines is to give ChatGPT an idea of what headlines Google is currently rewarding. We don't want ChatGPT to start with nothing. The more information it has, the better job it's going to do. So this is why I said we want at least 3, up to 5. If you want to go crazy, you can go even more. But we really want to focus on the competitors that Google is rewarding, the very highly ranked competitors. Okay. People also ask questions, colon. And then all of the people also ask questions that you just copied from that section. The reason that we're doing this, ChatGPT knows what the people also ask section is. And we know, ChatGPT knows, that that Google thinks the people also ask questions are highly, highly relevant to that search query. Google clearly thinks the PAA questions are highly relevant or wouldn't show those PAA questions for that query. So this again is guiding ChatGPT to frame its content in such a way that Google will see it as relevant for the target keyword. Instructions. Please write an SEO optimized article using the provided target keyword. Ensure that the keyword is naturally integrated into the content, especially within the headline, subheadings, and the first paragraph. The article should also address the provided people also ask questions, incorporating them as H2 or H3 subheadings to structure the content effectively. Additionally, please follow these guidelines. Article length. Aim for, specify word count, words. You can base the number of words on those top 3 to 5 articles already ranking. Do a quick word count of those articles and target a word count similar to them, maybe 5 to 10% longer. Meta description. Include a compelling meta description incorporating the target keyword. Internal external links. Suggest where to include internal links to relevant pages and recommend authoritative external links. Image descriptions. If applicable, provide brief descriptions for potential images that relate to the content. Tone and style. The article should be informative, engaging, and written in whatever tone you want. Professional, conversational, whatever fits for that website, for your client, or for your website. Call to action. Conclude with a call to action that encourages engagement or conversion. Okay, I know, again, long prompt, but the more information we give ChatGPT, the better its output is going to be. So then it's going to write us a post, and what we're going to do, we're going to grab that post and check it with a tool we use called Page Optimizer Pro. You can check out other videos on my channel to see how we actually use Page Optimizer Pro. Plus, my next video, I'm going to break it down in more detail. But the reason we do that is we want to ensure that Google knows what that content is about. And that's what Page Optimizer Pro does. It analyzes the existing content and makes sure that we're using similar language, word patterns, so Google knows what it is. Now, on top of asking ChatGPT to write new content, we can also grab existing content and ask ChatGPT to optimize it. We know that adding exact match keywords to existing content will almost always improve the rank position for those keywords if it's already indexed and on the second or third page for those keywords. So you can go into Search Console, you can grab the queries your existing content is indexed for, but maybe not ranked on the first page. Then give that list of queries with the CSV file to ChatGPT, copy paste the entire article as part of your prompt, and here's the prompt to give it so that it can edit your content and add more of those exact match keywords. You are an SEO expert. I'm giving you a CSV of Google Search Console data showing which queries this URL is ranking for and its rank position. Please analyze the URL's content below and make changes to it that will improve its traffic. Focus on adding queries the content is ranking for but aren't mentioned in the content. Please italicize all the changes you make to the content so I can easily evaluate how you've edited. All right, so there's the 2 prompts, one for new content and one to edit existing content to improve the rank position for content that's already indexed, okay? So we ask 7 cents per word for AI-generated, human-edited content. That's less than half what we used to ask for human-written content. Very rarely do we produce human-written content anymore. Editing AI content is just more effective. The AI optimization of existing content, and you can check out another video on my channel using AI to optimize clients' existing content. I dive into this a lot more there, but we do that for around $75 per article, assuming the article is around 2,000 words. It's a massive value delivered at a fairly low price. Plus, because it's so relatively quick, it's a really solid margin for us because most of the work, we got it done with prompt engineering. instead of having to do it individually for each article for each client. All right, that's all I'm going to talk about for content here. Let's move on to the third one, and that's AI-driven technical SEO audits. So there's a few different things that we can use AI for in doing a technical SEO audit. So really, we're going to want to start by grabbing a tool like Screaming Frog, because when we run Screaming Frog on a website, we're going to be able to generate a report that's going to give us the URL, the title tag, the meta description, any information like that that we want. And if we had the title tag and meta description, then ChatGPT is going to have a pretty good idea of what that article is about. Remember, ChatGPT, unless you buy add-ons, is not capable of crawling a website. But with Screaming Frog, you can get this list of URLs with title tags. You can give that output file to ChatGPT directly and ask it for things like a content gap analysis, which can be very helpful. ChatGPT will be able to see the content you have, the topics you touch on, and recommend new content that's in the same topical relevance that you could rank for fairly easily. Additionally, you can have Screaming Frog export a list of every single internal link that you have on the website. You can give that to ChatGPT and ask it to do an internal link gap analysis. Very similar, making sure that content is linked to each other that's topically relevant. You can also have Screaming Frog create a map of your website. You can give that map, not surprised I hope, to ChatGPT and ask it to analyze that map for internal linkings, topical relevance, and suggest changes to how your website is structured. This topical relevance map, it's huge in modern SEO. In some ways, even more important than keyword research. Because of how Google's algorithm has been updated to reflect topical relevance as importance, then we need to make sure our websites are structured so Google knows what our websites are about. We can also grab ranking and click-through data from Google Search Console and combine that with the URL and title tag data. Essentially, we can grab the CSV from Screaming Frog, a CSV from the Search Console. We can give them both to ChatGPT and ask it to combine those two CSVs into one file. Once we have that done, we can ask it to identify URLs that have a lower click-through rate than expected and ask ChatGPT to rewrite the title tags as a title tag expert to improve click-through rate. Improving click-through rate is one of the fastest ways to explode traffic on a website. Most websites, they have a handful at least of URLs that are on the first page but have a lower than expected click-through rate. Just editing title tags can make a massive difference. We can also go to the Pages section of the Google Search Console and export the crawlability section, indexing pages. Here's an example here. We can hit export, generate a CSV, give that CSV to ChatGPT, and ask it for an analysis. So maybe you're seeing a pattern here. This type of work used to take hours, and now CTR analysis, content gap analysis, internal link analysis. We can basically do this in under a half hour by crawling the website, getting a list of all the URLs, title tags, combining that with data from Google Search Console, and asking ChatGPT to run the analysis for us. Massive, massive results in significantly decreasing the amount of time it takes to do a technical audit of a website. Okay, fourth product. Personalized user experience and intent matching. This is an exciting one. So the first step, as for a lot of the other ones, we're going to go and grab data first, okay? So go to Search Console, grab a specific page, a specific URL, and export the query's data, okay? And then for that URL, copy all of the content on the page, okay? And once you have that query's data and all of the content, here's the prompt that you're going to give ChatGPT to improve the content based on user intent. I've attached an export file for a top performing page that includes top keywords and performance. I've also given you all the content from that page. Please analyze this data with the following objectives. 1. Keyword intent analysis. Review the top keywords for this page and determine the user intent behind each one. Cross-reference the keywords with the content on the page to assess how well they match. 2. Content evaluation. For a deeper analysis, I've provided you with the content for this top performing page below. Suggest any content adjustments needed to improve the match between keyword intent and page content. 3. User experience recommendations. Based on the keywords and current content, recommend improvements to the website's user experience. Outline steps that could be taken to make the content more engaging and more likely to convert visitors. 4. Data-driven insights. If there are specific metrics that you need to review, for example, bounce rate, average session duration, or others, please let me know, and I will provide that additional data for this page. Action items. Provide a prioritized list of action items based on your analysis that can be taken to improve the SEO and user experience for these pages. Feel free to offer insights or suggestions that go beyond the given data if you believe they could be beneficial for the site's performance. All right, I know that was a long prompt, but again, the more information we give ChatGPT, the more boundaries we place on it, the higher quality output we're going to receive. So here's the output that it gave me for a client website about eye exercises. We implemented the changes that we agreed with. We didn't agree with everything ChatGPT wanted us to do, nor did the client. So we only implemented, of course, the changes that we agreed with. We let it sit for a month so that we could grab before and after data in the Search Console and ran the analysis again. That page had a 30% boost in traffic. Okay, that's crazy for just doing these relatively small changes that ChatGPT suggests. On top of that, you can improve topical relevance to grow that traffic even more. Here's a video I did where I go deep into how to do a topical relevance analysis with ChatGPT's help. And there's prompts in there to improve your topical relevance even further. Okay, product number 5, link building and off-page SEO. Link building is one of the hardest parts about SEO, mainly because content writing is now so easy. So we'll use AI to help make link building even a little bit easier. So what we're going to do is we need a backlink analysis tool. Can't use Search Console because we need to compare apples to apples with a competitor's site and our site. I mean, I guess you can use Search Console if you have access to your competitor's Search Console, but you probably don't. So if you use Ahrefs, SEMrush, it doesn't matter. Grab a backlink analysis tool from your website and from your competitor's website, potentially several competitors' website. Then you're going to collect those exports, and here's the prompt that you're going to give ChatGPT along with those files. Please conduct a thorough backlink analysis of the following competitor's website. Website.com. I've also included the backlink export for my website at mywebsite.com. The analysis should identify the most valuable backlinks contributing to my competitor's site's authority and search engine rankings. Use this information to create a strategy for acquiring similar high-quality backlinks for our website. Objectives: identify high-quality backlinks. Pinpoint the most authoritative and relevant backlinks my competitor has. Backlink profile breakdown. Provide a breakdown of the competitor's backlink profile, including link types, do follow versus no follow, link diversity, anchor text usage, and domain authority of the linking sites. Opportunity spotting. Highlight potential backlink opportunities that we can target, such as industry-related directories, forums, guest post opportunities, or partnerships. Content gap analysis. If possible, perform a content gap analysis to discover topics or types of content that are earning backlinks for the competitor but are not present on our site. Recommendation for backlink acquisition. Based on the analysis, recommend actionable strategies for acquiring similar or better backlinks to improve our website's authority and search engine performance. Requested deliverables. A list of the top backlinks, including the linking domain, domain authority, and type of link that the competitor has secured. A summary of insights on how these backlinks contribute to the competitor's SEO success. A prioritized list of backlink opportunities for us to target with an estimated impact on our SEO efforts. Any additional insights on the competitor's backlinking strategy that could inform our approach. Okay, again, I know these are long prompts, but like I said, a long prompt giving ChatGPT a lot of information and a lot of guidance as to what we want will result in better output. So here's a sample output for that based on a competitor's site and mine. And you can see how valuable this output is in building an effective backlinking strategy. The next step in this is to have ChatGPT write a few ongoing communication campaigns, politely informing your competitors' linkers that you have good content and they should consider linking to it. ChatGPT combined with an email automation tool, something like Go High Level, will be an excellent approach to a never-ending, customized reach-out campaign. You can literally create these never-ending campaigns. You can customize them with ChatGPT's help. You can write dozens of customized emails for each one of those linking websites, load them all into the Go High Level, and have campaigns that constantly fire out emails until a goal is met, which you can set up in High Level. Let me know in the comments if you have any interest. I can show you how to do that very quickly and easily. And those never-ending campaigns are excellent. Basically, don't stop reaching out until you are specifically told to go away, then maybe take a couple weeks off and start reaching out again. Okay, number 6. This is a big one. Helpful content audit for competitors' websites. Okay, the helpful content audit happened in November of 23, and a lot of websites lost traffic due to this. So first, what you're going to do is search for a target keyword that you're not on the first page for, and grab the competitor who is in one of those top positions, okay? Now, you're going to grab all of the content from the competitor URL that's ranking very well, put that in a notepad, grab all of your content that's not ranking very well, put that in the notepad, and then give that content to ChatGPT along with this prompt. I'd like to conduct a comprehensive comparison between one of my website pages and a competitor's page that's currently ranking higher for our target keywords. The goal is to identify actionable insights and improvements to enhance the performance and ranking of our page. Here are the details needed for the analysis. Here, give ChatGPT the URL of your competitor, your URL, and move on. I have included all the content for my page and my competitor's page below. Here's a list of target keywords and phrases for that analysis. And then, of course, insert at least your primary target keyword, but you can include sub-keywords or phrases if you want to. Content objections and goals. Provide a side-by-side content quality and relevance comparison, focusing on how well each page addresses the user's search intent. Evaluate and compare the SEO optimization strategies of both pages, including on-page elements and technical SEO aspects. Assess the user experience offered by each page, considering design, layout, readability, and navigation. Analyze the engagement level and value provided by the content on each page. Review performance metrics to identify areas where our page may be lagging. Expected deliverables. A detailed report highlighting the key findings from the comparison. Specific recommendations for improving our page's content quality, SEO, UX, and engagement based on the analysis. Any additional insights or suggestions that could help our page outperform the competitor's page. Okay, so that is a quick, helpful content audit comparing two sets of content, your competitor who's ranking better and yours, and asking ChatGPT to give you some help in terms of what you should change on your website to outrank your competition. Okay, the 7th product, Google Business Profile Optimization. Of course, this is only applicable for local business, but for local business, GBP optimization is absolutely critical. Arguably, the GBP is more important than your website itself for local business. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure every single box in the GBP is filled in. If you have any trouble generating text, ChatGPT can write something for you. The other area, and we've seen a lot of misses on this with local businesses, a lot of local businesses will put in one service category, whatever their primary category is. But you really should have 4 or 5 categories and match those categories to your website content. ChatGPT can suggest additional supporting categories if you ask it to and give it the primary category. Then ask it to edit the homepage content to talk about those other supporting categories, okay? And GBP posts. I've heard some people say it doesn't affect SEO anymore. It used to affect SEO. My theory always has been if it's quick and easy to do and we only need to do it once and it might help, we're going to go ahead and do it. So we're going to do GBP post scheduling. High level makes this super easy to do. So do other tools. ChatGPT can quickly write dozens of GBP posts, and then you can schedule all of them to be posted once a week for 3 months, ongoing forever. Okay. Now, this GBP optimization, we can do this including the GBP post scheduling in under an hour. So we charge $300 for a client to do this. Massive value for them to fully optimize their GBP, and it's a solid profit margin for us. Okay, so in conclusion, those top 7 AI SEO services, you should definitely be thinking about offering them to all of your clients and future clients. And using AI gives you a competitive edge in how you produce each of those products. Now, I want you to embrace AI technology to improve your SEO services, but also so that you can lower your own cost structure and improve your gross margin. So if you thought this video was valuable, I want you to give me a like. That would be awesome. I'd really appreciate that. Give me a comment below with your experiences. We've been talking a lot about algorithms, likes, comments. That really helps me with YouTube's algorithm. Any questions you have below about integrating AI into your SEO services, I personally will take a look and answer them for you. So thank you very much for watching, and I want you to stay tuned for more insights on leveraging AI in SEO. As I mentioned, my next video is going to be a deep dive in showing you exactly what we do and how we use AI to fulfill these 7 products. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss that next video.